Gardeners, stop scrolling. I have 5 tips for you that'll help your garden grow even better this fall season. Oh, there you are. So now that we have 5 things to get through. So number 1 is going to be your soil life. You're going to want to work on your soil life. In Florida, we have lots of sandy soil, and the one thing it doesn't have is proper nutrition. So what I'm actually doing right here is adding compost and a mixture of manure to my garden. I do this in my raised beds. I do this in my in-ground soil. I do this everywhere, even under my shrubs. Why am I doing this? Because I don't like to fertilize. It's expensive. Have you seen the prices of fertilizer? And if you have proper soil life, the good amount of microbes, fungi, beneficial bacteria, and you draw in your earthworms, you don't need the fertilizer. Fertilizer, you're gonna be adding it. And you're gonna be adding it. And you're gonna be adding it. And you're gonna keep doing that every single time because it's just gonna give you a flush. Then it's gonna fizzle out and you're gonna need to keep doing it. So right now, what I'm doing is adding something natural. So build proper soil life in your Florida garden and you will have a beautiful, lush garden. So let's get down to number 2. So number 2 is gonna go back to where most people start in number 1. Grow what you eat. We like pumpkins. So I'm growing, obviously, a massive pumpkin patch. And this vine is fairly the oldest vine that I have, so I'm over here trimming it off. 2, I also want to keep from getting spotty mildew in my garden, so I'm going to thin them out a little bit. And since there's no problems with leaves, I'm just going to chop it down. That's another part of soil life from 1. Chop and drop. Your plant has enough nutrients to hold itself. You'd be surprised. It's been doing it for centuries before we even started gardening. If your grocery store list is looking like things like tomatoes, cucumbers, garlic, onions, maybe that's what you should be growing. That's what we grow. I have peppers growing right behind you. You can't see right now, but you will in a second. I grow a huge amount of tomatoes right behind me in this fall section. However, I may have to replan that because this pumpkin is taking over. I'm growing Seminole pumpkins and Cinderella pumpkins. Was that a smart idea? I don't really know, but we're gonna try. Number 3, I can't stress this enough, companion planting. I planted all of my marigolds on the ends and in between any one of my tomato plants that I grew this spring. I just chopped them down and I'm getting ready to regrow something different in here. While my tomatoes are going on the back fence, I also am going to be planting some more basil back there. Why? Because the aromatic smell from the basil actually did great against major pests. Your hornworms, your caterpillars, your leaf miners, they all ended up over here. Well, I had a big, beautiful tomato harvest right here, within less than 6 inches away. That is so when you're gardening, check and see what actually grows well with each other. The smell of an aromatic herb is amazing in the morning. So let's talk about number 4, succession planting. A lot of people talk about this, but nobody actually does it. We forget about it, we get excited with our plants, and then we move on. We plant something different, and we get completely distracted. But my family loves sweet potatoes, so I just pulled up sweet potatoes in another video, and we're gonna run out of those sweet potatoes pretty quickly. So now, I just planted in some more sweet potatoes to grow in here. That's called succession planting. Planting when one plant is right before it dies. Number 5, grow based on your sunlight in your microclimate. You remember when that package of seeds told you that they grow in full sun? Well, guess what? In Florida, full sun, our equator is much closer than you think, and it's hot. I'm over here sweating. It is very hot. So while your tomatoes and peppers can handle a good amount of ample sun, they don't necessarily, depending on your variety that you're going to be planting, like full sun. Things like your Okinawa spinaches and your longevity spinaches, your sweet potatoes can handle full sun. Also, things like peanut plants. If you haven't tried peanuts, give that a try for the summer because they do fantastic. They don't really bothered by the full sun. But other things, you're going to want to know where your sun is going to rise in your yard and set. You're also going to want to know if your fence is giving off shade in a certain area. Do you have a tree, like I do, right here, that is completely shading out the garden? Well, in the morning up until 3 o'clock, this guy does great. This entire area is not shaded. It is not shaded. By 3 to 4 and the rest of the day, so that means this entire area of my garden is going to get brutal sun, whether it's morning sun or that extremely intense midday sun. I'm going to be careful what I plant out here. Now, we are going to be running into fall, so daylight hours are going to be a little bit different. That's also another factor that you need to think about. At that point, I'm going to plant my brassicas out here because they're still going to get the sun they need and they're still going to get rest from the tree shade. So give that a thought. Think about where you're going to place things in your garden based on sun. With that being said, you'll be able to grow very well with those 5 tips in your garden this year. Give it a try. And remember, soil life. Remember, healthy soil, healthy plants. Happy gardening.